Yo, it is March 6th, Wednesday, and who's in the house? JC is in the house today. We're going to talk about GM's hydrogen play, physical button comeback, and a new Target subscription.
Oh boy, Paul, two days in a row. Look at that.
Getting hyped. I'm getting hyped on a Wednesday.
That's right.
We also kind of have another guest, Ed Roberts. It's a pre-recorded guest, but nonetheless, a guest on the show.
Oh, yeah.
I wish Ed Roberts was here. I always wish Ed Roberts was here.
I know, me too. Every time I talk to him, my day always gets so much better. You just leave that conversation with a smile.
What was I? We were talking about the fact that a lot of times people will look at ASOTU and look at the fact that we're kind of upbeat and positive, and we talk about like a variety of things and think that like we're not serious about the car business.
Sure.
And I know that could be hard to think about, but the reality is like we love the practitioners. We spend a lot of time on the front lines. We get in the details of the tech. And Ed Roberts is one of those guys who's probably one of the most savvy practitioners we know, most dedicated, most driven. And he's kind of always smiling too. Not always.
You're right.
Not always.
Got a smile on his face.
And I thought about this. It's hard to look serious when you're smiling.
Yeah, you're right.
Right? When you're smiling, like no one thinks, I mean, like maybe they can think you're seriously happy.
Yeah.
But so I don't know. So I probably one of the least serious looking people.
Just because you smile all the time.
Yeah. And like if I'm ever not smiling, like even if I'm just like normal face, people are always like, what's wrong?
Yeah.
It's one of those.
There's like two extremes, right?
I know. Well, there's going to be a lot of opportunity to smile and hug in person at ASOTU CON, which is now only 69 days away. We've just crested. We've broken the 70-day mark. It's going to be May 15th and 16th. We're going to have so many things going on. You can still get your discounted early bird tickets at ASOTUCon.com. We keep updating the site on a regular basis. So you can see the speakers who are going to be there, the auto dealer associations who are going to be there, some of the sessions that are going to be there, some of the sponsors. That sponsor page is going to be racking up really, really quickly because I've been on like, I don't know, I feel like 10 calls yesterday with people who want to sponsor. And so like, I already know it's outdated even because I know the site hasn't been updated yet this morning. Yeah. And so a lot of industry partners jumping on, they want to be a part of the event. We hope you can be a part of the event. If you're an industry partner, reach out, crew@asotu.com or go to asotucon.com, fill out the little form. We would love to find the best fit. You know, we're not a like get your name on BevNeps kind of event. You know what I'm saying?
In fact, someone tried to do that and you told them no.
That's right. That's right. Yeah. They were like, no, we're more like, let's have meaningful conversation. Let's put you with other people. And if we're going to print your name on something, it's going to be a really great soccer scarf.
Yeah, that's right.
Right. So here, who do we give a shout out? Last year's swag sponsor was Foundation.
Yeah, Foundation.
They look great on the scarf.
Man, yeah.
Look at that logo.
Yeah,
looks so cool. And the other side of Soto. And like, I'm going to put this on. Kyle and I never take these off. It's like a NASCAR placement. It's in every shot.
Yeah.
What else are we talking about today? Okay, well, we have Ed Roberts. I actually don't even know what he's talking about, but Nathan, our producer, is like, we got this clip from Ed we're going to play. And I was like, okay, let's play it. So actually, I'm going to hear it for the first time.
Discussions that talks about looking at it through a customer's lens. We so much look at it from a reactionary, from the lagging indicators rather than the leading indicators. And the lagging indicators is a financial statement, the KPIs and all those things.
Yeah.
But what leads that? So I love it when we go around it from the other side and we look at it through the customer's lens. That's what creates all of those KPIs. So anything that looks at it from the customer side rather than internally outward. It's the leading indicators rather than the lagging indicators. What's so cool about these events, we can go there and share those things that we do well, but then also we all have that friction point. And when we go and we see someone else, that's not a friction point for them. It's something that they do well, and we can pick up some elements of what they're doing and then bring it back to our store. And that's the key. It's not just getting the information, it's bringing it back to our store and getting to do something about it.
Hey, I love that. There was a lot of smiling in that testimonial, but he still seems really serious. Ed Roberts is one of the most open-handed people I know. He actually reached out and was like, hey, we've got a lot of good momentum with mobile service.
Yeah. And
he said, could we do a panel on mobile service and share some of our best practices with the other people? Because, you know, it's a challenge for people. And we're like, yes. So we are going to have, it might not be on the agenda yet, but we are going to have a mobile service panel with Jeremy Stevens, who is running the mobile service director for Bozard Ford Lincoln in St. Augustine, Florida. We're also going to put some other people on that panel. If you're into mobile service and you're doing it, and you're working it out, let us know, because we're actually going to probably put 1 or 2 more people on that panel. But man, Ed Roberts, I can't wait to hang out with him.
I know. Even like mobile service as a whole, that is such a new thing to most people, but he's been doing it for a few years.
Yeah.
And the scale that they're going to do this year. So I'll let him break that news. But I'm excited to see how big they're making that this year at Beaux-Arts. It's going to be nuts.
It's so good. So good. All right, let's get into some news today. So first story of the day, GM has been awarded $26 million in federal funding to develop hydrogen fuel cell powered medium duty trucks as a part of a U.S. Department of Energy SuperTruck 3 program. So basically, they're going to be collaborating with Southern Co. and Nel Hydrogen US to introduce the trucks in Georgia alongside efforts to establish, right? You have the trucks, they run on hydrogen to establish a supportive hydrogen microgrid. So that is a $65 million project, partially funded by the Energy Department and U.S. Army's Ground Vehicle Systems Center. Wow, that's a lot of departments right there getting together. Their goal is to achieve 75% greenhouse gas emission reduction. So this is through the commercial lens. So the pilot trucks will actually mirror the 2024 Silverado 5500 and feature over 300 miles of range. And get this, the capacity to generate 300 kilowatts of power. So not just a vehicle, a little mobile power plant. It's pretty sweet. GM and Honda have been producing hydrogen fuel cell systems a lot through a joint venture in Detroit, and they're working with auto car industries to put hydrogen fuel cells in vehicles like cement mixers, roll-off trucks starting in 2026. Charlie Freese, executive director of GM's Hydrotech hydrogen fuel cell business, said by using hydrogen's high energy storage density advantages, there's a lot of nerdy talk here, these propulsion systems can refuel in minutes, much like conventional petroleum fueled engines. So I think the hydrogen conversation, Jordan, is seems like it's ramping up quite a bit.
It just changed a little bit. Look at that, $26 million in investment just from GM alone. That when we talked about this back in like November and December, our creative director, Kelly Verdi, what she kept bringing up was hydrogen, about how that will work out long term. But the problem is the infrastructure. So it's cool that they finally got this, especially at that level.
Yeah.
I mean,
and
that's game changer.
The commercial applications seem like the best fit. I mean, we talk about this with EVs as well, right? EV application of the commercial vehicles seems like the logical first place because you know a lot more certainty what the vehicle has to do every day, where it will be parked at night, and so you can recharge or refuel. Hydrogen, obviously, you can move hydrogen around in a truck. You can't move electricity around in a truck. You know what I mean? To refuel, have on job sites. So it'd be interesting to see how the commercial side of the business does this. Can you imagine a cement mixer trying to be powered by a battery?
Well, that's the other thing too.
It's already so heavy.
Yeah, and price range too. Once you put hydrogen on something like this, I know it's got hydrogen generation. It's very similar to how the gasoline engine is set up. But man, like the price point changes drastically.
Absolutely.
Look at what the Toyota Mirai was doing.
I know it. Well, we'll see what happens. Speaking of seeing what happens.
Stop. Segue. Time.
Our friends across the pond here, European car makers are being urged by the European New Car Assessment Program, NCAP, to reintroduce physical controls for basic functions to enhance driving safety, effective January 2026. So, you make the car in the year before the year. So 2026, that means next year they're going to start doing this. Euro NCAP's new rules aim for cars to have tactile controls for essential functions like hazard warning lights, turning signals, windshield wipers, SOS calls. I don't know what an SOS call is. It might be a European thing. And the horn to maintain their 5-star safety rating. So they're saying if your car doesn't have these tactile button features, you will not be able to get a 5-star safety rating. It's addressing the risk of driver distraction caused by use of touchscreens for basic controls. Many manufacturers obviously moving to that. A lot of EV technology moving to touchscreen. It's a lot cheaper to put all the controls in one screen, control it with software, as opposed to physical buttons that need some mechanical movement and response. Matthew Avery of Euro NCAP commented the overuse of touchscreens is an industry-wide problem, with almost every vehicle maker moving key controls onto central touchscreens, obliging drivers to take their eyes off the road and raising the risk of distraction crashes.
What's nice about the way they set that up is you can still do it. You're just going to lose your 5-star rating.
That's actually a great way to do it.
Yeah, which is like, it's a big deal, but you're doing the incentives correctly. You can let them choose. So now all of a sudden they can either choose to continue doing what they're doing, or they can go back to a physical button and get back to the rating that they want. They get to choose. Like on a Tesla, it's kind of frustrating because your windshield wipers are stuck behind a screen.
I mean, some of these systems too are really bad, like where you need 3 taps to get to a heated seat, or you need, I mean, that's not an essential function unless you live in, like where we live when it's cold. Totally essential function, heated seat. But I think it goes one step further, Jordan, because you said you let the manufacturers choose what they want to implement or not. But actually, I think it allows the consumer to choose like even more. It's like the consumer saying, well, is 5-star safety rating important to me? If so, I'm only going to buy cars with that rating. Therefore, manufacturers may begin to lose market share to the ones who do implement the tactile buttons. I'm a big fan of the right balance. I love tactile buttons, but obviously too many of them, it can be confusing, or certain things are fine on the screen, but I want the basics. Like I want to be able to reach and feel it. I don't know. You probably never did. Did you ever have a BlackBerry?
I did. So my dad had one. I had one of the basic ones. And then I also had a Motorola Q9C. Do you remember those? It was like the BlackBerry knockoff. I do. Well,
the thing about that is like switching from, like, if I had a BlackBerry, I could type a full novel without looking down at that keyboard. No problem. I could send emails. I could do everything. And then I got the iPhone and I was like, I know some people can do it. You definitely can't. I mean, you got to be special. But the BlackBerry, I could emails all day long. I'm looking at
yeah. Well, you think like T9, right? When you had T9 on your cell
absolutely.
phone texting,
let's explain what T9 is for the kids, Jordan, because some people might
know how
think.
To explain it, Paul.
Okay, so like an old phone, like not a cell. It's got the numbers. Well, if you open the phone app on your iPhone, it's got the numbers. Yeah. And basically, I don't know, does it? I'm going to look on my phone. Does it still have the letters assigned?
It does. Yeah, it does.
Hold on. Okay. Oh, my voice.
At least an iPhone.
Okay. So when you're looking at this iPhone, on the number 2, there's can't say ABC. On the number 3, it's DEF, and so on and so forth. So T9 meant if you wanted to type a word, you had to hit that key the number of times you wanted the letter. So if you want the letter C, you have to hit number 2 3 times, and it goes A, B, C. And then you go to the next.
So actually that was ABC. And then the T9 one, you could like jump fast between them. Do you remember that?
Oh, that was when it started to get predictive, right?
Exactly, you're right. So that like the predictive part of it and like AI as a whole, like that was the original AI. Paul, that was the original
so right.
one.
Because then you could type in a word just by hitting the keys and it would say, oh, you mean to type this word.
Exactly.
Man, that's throwing me back. I used to be super fast at that. Now, like even thinking about it, I wouldn't even know where to start. I have to all retrain. But yeah. So hats off to you across the pond. I think that's a great thing. And we'll see if it makes its way over here. I mean, agency model never really made it, but hey, this seems a little bit more practical.
That's right. I guess convenience for the win.
Speaking of convenience,
Segway.
Jordan, you are amazing bump setter on the segways. I have to say, it's been very enjoyable.
These are like the highlights of my day when I get to do those with you, Paul.
Oh man, I love it. We're gonna have Kyle back tomorrow. I'm like, Kyle, Jordan really set you up.
Yeah, sure.
All right. Target announced the launch of Target Circle 360, a $99 a year subscription program offering various benefits, including unlimited free same-day shipping or delivery, aiming to revitalize this e-commerce strategy. They've been working really hard to find the balance on. Target Circle 360 includes that free same-day delivery, in some cases in under an hour, probably not where I live, for orders over $35. Also other perks like 2-day free shipping if it's not local, to your market, if there's not something in a store near you. CEO Brian Cornell emphasized the program's role in meeting customer demand for convenience, while the customer always also revamps its free Target Circle loyalty program for added value. Here's a quote from the CEO. There is a guest who's looking for the ease and convenience of having something brought right to their home, in some cases within an hour, and we just want to elevate the awareness that we can do that for $99 a year. That seems like a deal to me.
It is, but I'll be the first of many to say it. They're just copying Amazon, They're giving you free 2-day shipping. Yep. It's at a premium for whatever the price is, so $99. So very similar.
It's cheaper than Amazon Prime.
Oh, is it really?
Oh yeah, Amazon Prime now is like $139.
Oh, I just keep paying it every year.
I don't even I mean, Amazon's got us, man.
Yeah, that's right. No, but the convenience is there, the 2-day free shipping. Now, I would be super curious to see how they do the under an hour delivery. I know they do that with Whole Foods.
In some markets,
do it correct.
Right. Like, are they outsourced? Is this Target drivers, or they're probably just leveraging a network like DoorDash, Uber Eats to accomplish that? You have to be close to a store and they have to have a good delivery network. This is one of those things where there's so many Targets everywhere that they have these mini warehouses all over the country. And
Exactly.
I feel like they should be able to fulfill 1 hour orders and same day stuff better than Amazon would. Because you think about it, it's right there in the store. It's not buried in a warehouse somewhere, right in the store. And they already have the mechanism. So, I mean, we're not big at my house on having stuff delivered to our home because we kind of live in the country and our driveway is kind of long. So I don't just want randos driving up the driveway, right? Like coming back by the house. Then we got to deal with the dogs and the whole thing. So I'm not the consumer for this. I'm not paying $99 a year to Target, but I can see why people would.
My wife is going to pay it. I guarantee it.
Yeah, there you go. We'll take that. Hey, whatever you're doing today, whether you're trying to make things convenient for other people or just trying to care about some people, we hope that you do it with all your heart. Get out there, sell some cars, service some cars, care about people more than cars. We'll see you here tomorrow.